Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. And in today's video, I'm going to run you through a few items that you probably want to pick up before tomorrow's reset. Some of these items are available free for the very first time, and you might actually not have noticed that they were free. So at the time of posting this, you'll have less than 24 hours to pick up any of said items, if so desired. We'll also run you through some stuff that you probably want to know for next week, as far as rank, power, and tiered rewards are concerned. We'll cover a glitch or two as always, but if you enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below, and remember, any of those things also enter you to any future giveaways on this channel. We do win every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. Almost 70% of those who watch regularly are still not subscribed, so if you would like to help support the channel, it is the easiest way to do so. Also remember, if you have left a donation or become a channel member as of late, you will receive a shout out towards the end of the video, so stick around till the end for that. Over at 801, we had the Burgundian Knight shader available this week, as well as the Mad Monk and the new Monarchy Diamonds, so pick up any of these if you haven't and you wish to own them. I think they've been around fairly often, those three, so I'm sure most people have them. We also had the Ego armor set, if you were looking for this as far as ornaments are concerned. Unfortunately, the new ornament bug, which was allowing you to get double defense, has been patched, so you can just use whatever ornaments you'd like again. I'm back to my old Crota set, as it was always my favorite. Also tomorrow, remember that Xur will be leaving us, as well as Trials of Osiris. So if you're planning on farming out any of those activities, Trials is giving good loot and good power at the moment. Anything with the Solstice Engram is also giving you really good power, so we'll cover a few of those activities in a second. But over at Xur, these exotics were all available, and there's some pretty good ones. The Necrotic Grip is pretty good. But also remember, if you're looking to change any of the roles on these items, you will want to equip the Ghost mod that corresponds to the stat that you want, but you might also need to go out to orbit and then come back in and visit Xur in order for it to register, as sometimes these things just bug out, and for some reason this has been an ongoing thing that not everybody can actually get them to change, even though they're supposed to. On the strange gear offers, remember the Engram for strange coins can give you anything here as well as anything that is not listed here. So anything in Xur's loot pool. But we had some Adept weapons, specifically Nightfall weapons, available this week in the Duty Bound. Might be an interesting pickup. This Refusal of the Call, not a Nightfall weapon, but is enhanceable, is also a very good glaive and kind of rare. I think we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now, though. We also had the Scintillation Adept in its fully enhanceable form, another Nightfall weapon. We had the Faithkeeper with Lasting Impression, which is an interesting perk. We also had the Reed's Regret, which I believe was a Trials weapon, as well as the Keen Thistle, which can be enhanced and was also a Nightfall weapon. Unfortunately, the Duty Bound cannot be enhanced, but still an Adept. I think the big thing this weekend was the Lord of Wolves Catalyst, which I would encourage everybody to pick up if you don't have it. One of the best catalysts in the game for PvE at the moment. Bad Juju Catalyst was also available. We had the Darcy, the Fighting Lion, the Jade Rabbit, which is an interesting pickup this week. I'll cover why towards the end of the video. And then we had the Hawkmoon. Remember, the glitch to pull random rolls from your collections on the Hawkmoon is still working. So if you're looking for a random roll Hawkmoon, it's very good in PvP. I would consider doing that versus buying this one. Although this one isn't bad with Quick Draw and Combat Grip. Gonna make our way up to Banshee 44 really quick, because there was some interesting stuff available there. And next week, we will have the continuation of Solstice of Heroes. So we have 2 weeks. It's usually a month. We have Solstice, but this time it's only 2 weeks, though I would say the rewards have been very worth it, much more so than the month-long activity that we used to have. But we'll also be getting a bonus booster, I guess, for your score in any of the portal activities. I know everybody's sort of keen to running the solo ops, and whatever is giving the distorted Solstice Ingram in solo ops is probably the best farm for solo players as far as power. And if you're over 300 power, you can actually get tier 5 rewards. It's rare, but you can still get them. The holofoil tier 5s will also drop another tier 5 armor piece. So very good farm. K1 Logistics is probably one of the easiest ones to farm. They're all fairly quick, but this is definitely one of the fastest, so I would take part in this over the next 24 hours if you would like a bit of easy power as well as possibly some tier 5 rewards. You'll definitely be getting tier 4 rewards over 300 power. And yes, we will also next week be getting a reward score booster. So this will make getting an A tier reward much easier. That accompanied with the already increase to the rank rewards or the tier of reward from Solstice Ingrams. I think this is going to be an amazing week to farm out. If you're over 300 power, it might be an easy week to 400. So just keep that in mind. Now, I'm not totally sure if this has to do specifically with Solstice, though this armor is associated with Solstice, but over on Ava Levant's workbench, if you've completed all the class items or the armor pieces for Solstice, you might, and again, I'm not sure if this is a prerequisite, but you might want to go and visit Tess Everis. You might want to visit Tess Everis anyway, because if you go to the second page, you'll notice that there is a bunch of armor sets that are available for free or for Bright Dust at the moment. I think these are all the Solstice armor sets, but I'm not totally sure. But we have the Revelry Warlock bundle. We also have the Luster Warlock bundle. Very cool. A lot of these with animated ornaments. Or a lot of them are animated ornaments. I think all of them are, except for the Revelry bundle. We have the Candescent Prism Warlock bundle, a very cool one there. And we also have the Celestian Warlock bundle. So make sure to pick these up for Bright Dust. Again, I'm not totally sure if you need to have completed all the quests or armor quests for Solstice of Heroes in order for these to be available for Bright Dust, but check anyway. Who knows? Interesting combination of a few of these. I think I'm definitely going to pick some up. Also, at Tess Everis, before tomorrow's reset, we have, as I said before, some interesting stuff with the Jade Rabbit. We have the Raging Lepus ornament for the Jade Rabbit, which changes the blue to red and the silver to black. Very cool shader in my opinion. Also remember to farm out Trials of Osiris if that's something you're interested in. It is finally giving good rewards and power, so definitely something to do. And there are no featured weapons anymore, or at least they won't be every week, so you have a chance, I think a slightly better chance of getting the stuff that you wouldn't normally get. Also under portal activities, through the Solstice, and I would recommend doing this way. Go through the Solstice portal and do Solstice Scorched. It is also giving increased rewards at the moment. Remember, we will also have the reset of the weekly missions, so if you haven't done them, I would suggest you do so before tomorrow's reset. The Loot Cave, which if you spawn into Caldera, is up in this area. I've talked about it in previous videos. I'll leave a, or maybe it's in this area, I'll leave a link to the exact path to the loot cave for another video in the comment section down below, as well as the best ways that you can be farming. You can actually still glitch out a bit of the solo ops, as well as really anything else, if you equip this one particular modifier. And I'll show you really fast. You can do this on master difficulty, but make sure you always have this modifier equipped, the fired up modifier. This one will give you infinite heavy ammo if you are using a primary as well as a heavy solar weapon. So you'll charge fired up with the primary, and then you can swap over to your heavy, and then if you can just continually get kills with your heavy ammo and it's solar, it'll continually rebuff and you'll get infinite heavy ammo. So it makes the whole thing quite a bit quicker. Also remember that rockets, if you're on Caldera, not today of course because we have K1, but when you're on Caldera, you can use rockets to essentially quicken the whole process, as shooting a rocket at the shielded with boxes, I guess, where the explosions or the explosives are hidden in, that you have to usually do a little bit of ad clear and hit one of the actuators, I'll call them, to open the actual shield. You can just shoot through it with a rocket. Any real explosion will trigger the explosions inside the square, and you can bypass having to shoot the actuator or shoot the trigger in order to take down the shield. It's just an interesting little thing to note. Also, along with the Hawk Moon being able to be taken out of collections for random rolls, if you are low on your helmet power, so if you're looking for a slight increase in order to mid-max on one piece and your helmet seems to be the lowest, you can head over to your collections, and still under flare for miscellaneous, the masks can still be pulled out of your collections for a higher power piece in order to, as I said, get better drops, as the drops from the portal activities are really based on what you have equipped, not what your ultimate higher power is. Now you cannot infuse any of these, of course, but you can still wear it until you get that higher piece of gear. So I'm actually going to pull one of these out right now, since I'm low on helmets. Let's see if it gives me a little extra power. Unfortunately not, but I still will be getting a slightly better reward towards the end. Oh, actually I have a helmet, so maybe I don't need this at the moment. I'll just infuse that. Also over at Banshee 44, if you hadn't had a chance to look, nothing really major to write home about. But we have, for this week, leaving us tomorrow, we had a crate with Vorpal Weapon, Compulsive Reloader, and Vice Stinger. We had the Luna Lada 4B, hopefully I said that correctly this time, with Adrenaline Junkie and Vice Stinger and Shoot to Loot. We have the Jurassica 3SR with Kill Clip and Vice Stinger and Tunnel Vision. We had the Fractoscythe Shotgun with Lead from Gold and Adagio, the Farewell with Tunnel Vision and Thresh, and the Ill Omen with Balance Guard, Strategist, Assassin's Blade, and the Radial Air Transposer origin trait. This one can be crafted. Fortunately, none of the others are enhanceable or can be crafted. For focus weapons, we had Vice as well as Amelan availables this week, or available today. Those should reset tomorrow. And lastly, over at Commander Zavala, remember to pick up your weekly rewards from the weekly bonus track, if you haven't, in order to get an easy power boost. And that is going to conclude all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell, post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram, as I said before. It'll be linked in the description box down below. Always interested to hear all your thoughts and comments, so any of those will also enter you into another giveaway. You can also, of course, leave anything I might have mispronounced, or you can leave a hashtag the Edge of Fate, or a hashtag Solstice of Heroes, or a hashtag Zur in the comments section down below, or a hashtag Archie, or a hashtag Spaghetti Face. I always forget to do that one. It's sort of my nickname for Zur. One other thing that I did want to mention that really isn't pertaining anything specifically to Destiny, but I'm interested to hear everybody's thoughts and comments on Sony actually taking over or taking a more leading role in Bungie. I actually think that they did for the Edge of Fate, so I think we're only hearing about what they've already done now, but just based on the way that Edge of Fate is sort of tailored more towards using what we already have versus always interested in introducing new activities that I think sometimes feel hollow and overwhelming versus just utilizing the stuff that we already have in the best way possible. I think we're going to get more of that as Sony sort of takes the reins a little bit more heading into the future. But I'm not totally sure if it's good for Bungie and really good for Destiny necessarily, but we'll see. I'd be interested to hear all your thoughts and comments on that below, so make sure to leave a comment. And now we'll just do a few shout outs for those who have donated or contributed to the channel over the past month or so. We have SSJ Scoot, we have Vetty Sneaky, we have Kenny Conrad, we have Richard Hartnett, we have Steve Card, we have Most Unknown, we have Jay Talley, we have Rabbidice, we have Shadow of Death Sweden, we have Chris Scott, we have Plucky Disco, we have Nomad, we have Justin St. John, we have our buddy C. John, we have our buddy DG Striker, we have Chip and Soda, we have our buddy Rage Forever, our buddy Velvet Hammer, our clanmate Charlie Boy, our buddy Sark Kamar, our buddy Brizga Foos, we have Ronald Johnson, we have Zack Attack, we have Aaron Batts, we have Joe Kim Upling, we have DJ Oros, big shout out to him, we have Jade, we have our close friend Sinister, we have Real Daz, also a close friend, we have Tinnitus Bat, close friend of the channel, we have Gecko, we have GA Nightmare, we have Deadpool, we have Green Mason, Killer Ninja, RKW, Chris Caulfield, we have Dot Writer, we have Matt Fairley, we have 12 Gauge King, we have Porto Bomber, and we have Baked Goodies. Sorry if your name was not mentioned. I will make sure to add you to the list in the next video, but I appreciate everybody who's been here, subscribed, and contributed. And if your name wasn't mentioned, my deepest apologies. I will make sure to add it to the list for the next time. But as always, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Hopefully everybody has a great week farming. I think it's going to be a good one. And of course, we will see you next time.